Introducing your 2011 AAA Blues. Defenseman. Number 2, Patrick Komodowski. Defenseman. Number 7, Hutch Rubis. Forward. Number 9, Tyson Boyer. Defenseman. Number 10, John Peterson. Defenseman. Number 11, Malachi Smith. Defenseman. Number 12, Linus Brooks. Forward. Number 13, Brandon Bauer. Forward. Number 16, Braden Harris. Forward. Number 17, Jackson Giorgio. Defenseman. Number 19, Emerson Minimin. Forward. Number 21, Mason Blanchard. Forward. Number 27, Grant Fugner. Forward. Number 29, Ian Bowers. Goalie. Number 30, Max Stutzer. Goalie. Number 31, Luke Scanapieko. Forward. Number 66, Braden Schneider. Forward. Number 85, Gordon Crowley. Forward. Number 88, Luke Wessel. Forward. Number 91, Jonathan Zilm. Forward. Number 93, Ben Spatansky.
Okay, let's go.
Good morning from Centene USA Arena. Blues take on the Nashville Predators this morning. Max Stutzer in net today. Blues will start with Hugner, Schneider, and Harris with Miniman and Commandant. Nashville wins the face-off where they dump it into the blue zone, picked off by Komodowski over the Miniman. Miniman goes up the boards to Harris, who backhands it out of his zone. Schneider on the forecheck. Nashville shoots it deep into the blue zone. Miniman retreats and goes up the boards to Harris, who outlets the Hugner. He tries to tip it. Nashville has to hold up, and he didn't hold up long enough. Offsides Nashville. No change for the Blues. Face-off won by Nashville. They dump it deep behind the Blues net. Picked up there by Miniman. He tries to go to Harris, and that's knocked down. Hugner hits the guy, knocks him off the puck. Nashville regains control. Pass picked off by Komodowski. He skates out of the zone, across the red line into the Nashville zone. Backhand towards the net. That's broken up by a defenseman. Harris picks it up in the corner. Tries to find Stefanski. That pass is picked off. Nashville comes out of the zone into the Blues zone. Blues puck picked up by Stefanski. He finds Harris. Nashville with the puck. They throw it towards the net. Held by Stutzer for a faceoff. Blues have Spatansky, Wessel, Blanchard with Smith and Brooks. Face-off won by Nashville. Shot from the points. Caught and held by Stutzer. Another face-off to his right. Face-off won by the Blues here. Brooks goes around the boards. Wessel tries to block that dump. Chipped deep by Nashville behind the Blues net. Smith ties up his man. Stefanski puts a hit on. Centering pass by Nashville goes all the way through the crease. That puck's picked up by Wessel. He and Blanchard come out with speed. Stefanski's behind him. Wessel gets knocked off the puck. Stefanski picks up the puck in the corner, gets it to Blanchard. He centers, and that pass is picked off. Smith steps up on the Nashville exit. Brooks dumps the puck deep. Blues will go in on the forecheck. Blanchard's in after it. He's got help from Wessel. Those two both hit their guys. Step up by Smith. Keeps the puck in. And then Nashville throws it out of the zone, and it will go far enough for icing. Harris, or Boyer, Giorgio, and Zilm out with Rubis and Peterson here. Giorgio wins the face-off. Boyer back to Rubis. Rubis throws it on net, saved by the goalie. Puck pops out. It's picked out by Nashville, picked up by Boyer. He goes back to Peterson, who comes out with speed. Rubis broke his stick. He's at the bench getting a new one. Peterson with the fucking far corner. He goes to Zilm. Zilm back to Peterson. He throws a puck towards the net that hits Boyer, who rings it around the boards. Giorgio will take it there. Skates to the middle of the ice. Puts a shot on, saved by the goalie. Nashville spins the puck around, comes around to Boyer. He pins his guy. Nashville comes out, broken up by Zilm, who finds Giorgio, gets it back into the Nashville zone, and they'll chase on the forecheck. Giorgio with good pressure. Nashville flips it out to the neutral zone, and then they'll dump it deep behind the Blues net. Stopped there by Stutzer, who sets it up for Rubis. Rubis up the wing to Boyer. Boyer goes to Giorgio. It gets past him, and Nashville takes over. Nashville dumps it off of the Blues, and that will be offsides on Nashville. Blues with Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers, Miniman, and Tomadowski on the ice. Nashville throws it all the way down for another icing. Crowley, Bauer, Bowers, Tomadowski, and Miniman here for the Blues. Face off tied up at the dot. That should have been a penalty on Nashville as he played the puck with his hand. Shot on goal by Bowers, saved by Nashville. They carry it out of the zone. Plays broken up by Miniman. Tomadowski takes a loose puck in the blue zone. Backhands it up to Bowers. He goes to Crowley. Crowley picks it up. Knocked away with the stick check by the Preds, who then dump it deep into the blue zone. Gutsy settles it for Miniman, carries from behind his net and out of the zone. He goes up to Bowers, who tips it into Bauer. Spins away from the hit, backhands it to Bowers in the corner, gets past him, and Nashville's got control. They flip it up off the glass into the neutral zone where Tomadowski picks it up. He goes to Bowers. Bowers tries to dump it into the zone, gets knocked down. Nashville flips it into the blue zone on goal. Stutzy gives it to Brooks. Brooks comes up the wing to Schneider. Schneider finds Bugner, bounces on him, and Nashville takes control again. They'll dump it deep. Stutzy stops it, gets it to Brooks. Brooks will skate out of the zone. His pass almost picked off, tipped back into the blue zone offside. Bugner, Schneider, Harris, Smith, and Brooks on the ice. Brooks over to Smith. Smith finds Bugner. Bugner gets it to Brooks with speed. He gets into the Nashville zone, throws a shot wide. Nashville will ice it again. Same five on the ice for the Blues. Face off won by Bugner. Harris goes to the point to Smith. Over to Brooks. His shot gets tipped by a Nashville stick. Harris picks it up in the far corner. Gets it taken away from him, and Nashville gets out of the zone to Smith. Smith to Brooks. Brooks off the boards to Schneider, who has a little bit of trouble with it, gets it to Bugner. His pass to Smith is picked off. Schneider back into his own zone to Brooks. Brooks will go off the glass to the point, held in there by Nashville. Good stick by Schneider to knock it off the Preds stick. Nashville maintains control in the blue zone, though. Throws it towards the front and goes off Harris's stick into the corner. He backhands it to Bugner off the boards. Bugner gets the red line and dumps it deep. Schneider in on the forecheck while the rest of the Blues go for a change. Nashville throws it down the ice again, and now we'll go for icing. Blues have Spatansky, Blanchard, and Wessel with Peterson and Rubis. Offensive zone face-off to the right of the Nashville goalie. The scramble draw picked up by Wessel. Wessel goes to the far point to Rubis. Rubis throws it towards the goal, gets through some bodies. Wessel picks it up, tries to get it to Spatansky. He's knocked off the puck. Nashville throws it off their own player into the corner. Pressure there from Blanchard and Spatansky, but Nashville gets out of the zone. They get the red line, and it's taken away on the back check by Wessel. He gets it to Spatansky. He drags between the legs, tries to wrap around, and that goes out to the near boards. Peterson back around the net. Spatansky picks it up in the far corner. He's got Blanchard with him. Blanchard tries to flip it, and it goes up the boards to the winger. Nashville flips it deep into the blue zone. It's chased by Peterson. He goes to Rubis. Rubis goes up the ice, tipped off the Wessel's stick, and Nashville dumps it deep again. Peterson's got the puck. He goes to Rubis, taking off Rubis's stick. Nashville, good play there by Hutch to take away the centering effort. Makes a move around the Nashville Predator, and he tries to flip it out of the zone. Doesn't get out. He puts a hit on a Nashville player, picks up the loose puck and carries it out of the blue zone. He finds Wessel. Wessel gains the blue line, makes a move around one, takes a hit from the second Pred. Rubis picks up the puck. Wessel's still tied up with a Nashville player. The Blues have the puck behind the net. Zilm tried to come out, and it was knocked off his stick. He gets it to Komodowski over to Miniman. Miniman gets around one Pred. He gives it to Zilm down below the goal line. Zilm tries to center, and it's knocked away by Nashville. They try to clear it. It goes straight to Miniman. His shot goes just wide of the net through Boyer. Komodowski throws it deep, gets past Giorgio. Nashville swings it around the boards, and they chip it out down into the blue zone. Not hard enough for icing. Komodowski throws it down the ice to Boyer. Boyer tries to tip it, and Nashville's in offsides again. Face-off will be at center ice. Blues have Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm with Miniman and Komodowski. Face-off won by Nashville. They go into their own zone, D to D. Flipped out, passes knocked down by Giorgio. Nashville with a shot over the net. They pick up the puck on the wing, throw it to the point, but it gets by. Boyer's got speed. He's in on a breakaway. Boyer goes forehand, backhand, forehand, and the puck sits in the crease. Not quite enough momentum to go in the net, and Nashville ices the puck again. So Boyer got a good shot off. Goalie made the save. Puck still trickled towards the goal line, but didn't quite have enough to get in. Blues with Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm. Brooks and Smith on D. Face-off won by Giorgio to Brooks. His shot's tipped by Giorgio just wide of the net. Nashville brings it up. Smith stepped up on the winger, hit him from behind. He's going to get a penalty as soon as the Blues can touch the puck. There's the puck. Setzer makes a save, and Smith's going to get a roughing penalty for a hit from behind. Nashville will have the first power play of the game. Blues send out Spatansky, Wessel, Rubis, and Brooks to kill the penalty. Now Peterson joins Rubis on D. Tansky wins the faceoff. Rubis spins it around the boards and it hops over the defenseman's stick and out of the zone. Wessel with good pressure up top. Nashville gets it up into the blue zone. They gain the blue line. That pass is blocked by Spatansky. Peterson tries to chip it up the boards. It's held in by a Fred. He spins away from Peterson. Spatansky pressures the point over to D into the slot. Another pass up to the high slot. Shot from the center is saved by Stutzer behind the net. Spatansky chips it out. Doesn't get it out of the zone though. Nashville centers it to nobody. Picked up by Rubis. His clearing attempt's knocked down. Puck is stuck somewhere. Comes out to Rubis. Rubis goes off the glass. Tries to hit Spatansky. He can't get to it. Nashville goes back to the point. Now they take a shot from the near circle. It's saved by Stutzy. Wessel is pressuring over in the corner. Hit by Rubis. Knocks this guy off the puck, and he comes around the boards again. It's going to get out of the zone, and the Blues will go for a change. Two new forwards come out. Rubis and Peterson still on the ice. Shot there goes wide of the net. Boyer and Blanchard are out on the penalty kill for the Blues. Boyer gets tied up on the far boards, can't get the puck out. There's 5 players trying to get the puck. Finally kicked into the corner by Rubis. Blanchard's on his guy there. Smith comes out of the box, and the Blues have killed the penalty. Peterson goes around to Rubis. He chases the puck down and flips it out of the zone. Gets over a Predator player. Boyer chips the puck, tries to get it deep, can't get it into the zone. Nashville carries it back. They go up the boards to the wing, flip it, pass is picked off by Peterson. Nashville goes to the far boards, can't complete the pass. They get it into the blue zone though, where it's picked up by Rubis. He just throws it down the ice towards the Nashville defender. Picked up by Crowley. He comes into the zone with speed. He beats the defender, tries to wrap around. Shot here by Komodowski is tipped higher than that. Kept in by Miniman. Bowers takes a hit to the numbers. And Nashville comes out of the zone with speed. He's sandwiched by 2 Blues. The Blues get it out of the zone. Miniman's got Bauer with him going to the net. Pass is just out of his reach. Picked up by Bowers. He shoots it, and it's saved up into the netting. Face off to the left of the Nashville goalie. Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Komodowski and Miniman for the Blues. Face-offs kept in by the Blues. Bauer got it, tried to get it deep. It was picked off, and Nashville dumps it in off of Komodowski, who takes it behind the net. Crowley puts a hit on the player there. Nashville's got it in the high slot. Good block by Ian Bowers. And the Blues come out with speed. Bauer has the puck. He gains the blue line. He's got Bowers and Como with him. Bowers tries to center to Como, and that's blocked into the corner. Nashville has the puck picked off by Bowers. Gets up to Miniman. He throws it back behind the net. Hops over Bowers' stick. He's tied up over in the near boards. Nashville comes away with it. They get it out of the zone off of Komodowski, who circles back to Bowers, gets it over to Schneider. Schneider pulls up, tries to go to Fugner, but it was behind him. Schneider with good hustle gets back. Brooks tries to find Fugner again. That pass is picked off. Schneider got the puck, gets it to Malachi Smith. Smith goes off the board, but it's knocked down by a Preds player. They've got it in the corner. His pass back is picked off by Harris, who finds Fugner. Fugner over to Brooks, who comes up the ice with speed. He gains the blue line, makes a move around the player, puts a shot on net, blockered into the corner. Schneider throws it behind the net, and Nashville takes control. They break out into the neutral zone, out through the right wing. Centering pass goes through crease. Harris gets it to Fugner. Fugner comes up the right wing with speed, cuts to the middle, finds Schneider, back to Fugner. Good save there by the Nashville goalie. That puck's cleared out and jumps over Smith's stick into the blue zone. Brooks will pick it up. He goes up the ice quickly to Schneider, or to Harris, sorry. Harris circles back, taken off of his stick. Hit there by Giorgio, and Smith dumps it in off the boards. Settled by the Nashville goalie. Boyer in on the forecheck with Giorgio. Nashville comes up the wing. They throw it up the center of the ice, and it gets past the player. Picked up by Rubis. Rubis throws it up the center. That should not be an icing. It could have been played by their player. But the Blues are called for icing, so we'll have a face-off to Stutzer's right. Blues have Giorgio, Zilm, and Boyer with Rubis and Peterson on the ice. Nashville center gets kicked. Giorgio wins the face-off to Rubis. He goes behind his net, goes up the wing to Boyer. Boyer tries to chip it out. His pass is picked off. And we're going to get an interference call on Nashville. So the Blues will go on the power play. Interference call on 92 for the Predators. Blues will send out Spatansky, Wessel, and Blanchard with Peterson and Rubis on the power play. Minute 41 left in the first period, no score. Spatansky wins the draw to Rubis. Rubis to the center of the ice finds Wessel. Wessel goes across the ice to Peterson, up to Rubis. Rubis back to Wessel. To Spatansky, who tips it towards the net, but wide. And he keeps it in there, gets it to Peterson. Peterson stops, pulls up, gets it to Rubis. Rubis with a shot that's tipped by Spatansky, saved by the goalie, gets past Wessel. Nashville throws it all the way down the ice for an icing. Same five for the Blues. A minute 2 left in the penalty. Minute 13 left in the period. Face-off won by Nashville against the boards. Blanchard chases it into the corner. He's helped there by Spatansky. Nashville comes away with it, but it's taken by Wessel. Wessel's got control. He goes to Peterson at the far boards. Over to Rubis. Rubis down to Wessel. Wessel goes far to Peterson. Oh, he whiffs on the shot. Nashville comes out with speed. Short-handed. They gain the blue zone. Rubis angles his guy off the puck. Stutzer gets it to Wessel, and Wessel's going to exit the zone with speed. He beats one, finds Spatansky. It bounces off of his stick. Pushed back by Nashville again. He gets it to Rubis. Rubis is going to circle. He goes to Spatansky. Spatansky with a move. He's got space. Shot saved by the goalie. Shoulder save there. Nashville gets the puck out again. Dumped back in by Rubis and chased by Wessel and Spatansky. The puck is picked up by Spatansky. He goes to Wessel over to Komodowski. It bounces on him out of the zone. And that does it for the first period. No score after one. All right, we're back for the second period. Blues have Giorgio, Zilm, and Boyer with Miniman and Komodowski. Face off won by Nashville. They get it up into the blue zone. Shot here, saved by Stutzer. Face off to his right. Face off taken by Nashville. They get it up to the point. Shot towards the net is blocked by Miniman and then covered by Stutzer for another face off. So 2 quick shots here for the Predators. Another face-off that's stuck on the dot. That gets by the point to the neutral zone. Good pressure by Zilm. He gets it to Boyer. Blues have 3 in. Boyer to Zilm. Popped over Giorgio's stick. Nashville gets it out of the zone. Giorgio to Miniman. Miniman gets the red line and dumps it into the Nashville zone. Chased after by Zilm. Tipped out by Nashville. Giorgio back to get it. He fakes the Miniman, skates up out of the zone. He's got speed over the red line into the Nashville zone. Around another, he goes straight to the net, and there's a goal for Tyson Boyer. Good job by Giorgio to enter the zone with speed, cut to the net. Shot saved by the Nashville goalie off of his pad, but Boyer was there to clean up the trash. So Boyer goal from Giorgio. 1-0 Blues. Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Smith and Brooks out now. Puck goes into the Nashville zone, chased after by Crowley. Nashville tries to go up the boards. It's blocked by Bowers. Nashville takes control and they flip it out. Malachi grabs it, tries to dump it. That's knocked down by Nashville. It's back to the Nashville defense. They come up the boards and it's shot into the blue zone. Taken behind their net by Brooks. He goes up the boards to Bauer. Gets to the Nashville point, and Stutzer makes the save into the corner. Smith takes the puck there, tries to go to Bowers. He knocks down a shot from the point. He's got to step on his D-man. Does a toe drag around the other D-man. Puck goes into the corner. Nashville goes off the glass and off of Brooks deep into the blue zone where Malachi Smith picks it up. He sets behind his own net, spins away from the hit, gets it to Brooks. Brooks comes up the ice. His pass goes off of Bauer's skate. Flipped back in by Nashville, but they still had a guy in the zone, so it's offside. Hugner, Schneider, and Harris with Rubis and Peterson on the ice. Rubis goes up the boards. Harris jumps over him, thrown back in by the Nashville defense, and Rubis hoists it high out of the zone, chased after by Schneider and Harris. Nashville throws it up. Peterson goes near wing to Harris, who comes into the Nashville zones, pulls up there. He gets it over to Peterson in the high slot. His shot through some traffic goes off the goalie's mask, and Schneider gets the rebound, saved by the Nashville goalie. He took that first shot from Peterson square in the mask. Looks like he's all right, though. Blues will keep Hugner, Harris, and Schneider with Rubis and Peterson. Offensive zone faceoff. Hugner goes forward with it. Nashville gets it into the zone. They try to clear, and it's held in by Peterson. Hugner gets taken down, no call. Nashville guy goes down, no call. Puck is thrown all the way down, and will go for an icing. No personnel changes for the Blues. Face off won by Nashville. They rim it around behind their own net. It's tipped out. No icing on this one. Rubis will go behind his own goal line to grab it. Comes up the near wing to Harris. Harris chips it up to Fugner. Fugner finds Peets. Dangles off of his stick and he dumps it deep. Harris in the near corner. Harris spins off of a check, tries to get it to Fugner, but it's knocked down. He and Fugner battle for it there. Rubis gets it over to Miniman. Miniman off the boards to Schneider. He takes a hit, gets tied up. Harris picks the puck up. He takes a hit, gets knocked down. Blues maintaining possession. Fugner's got it now. He goes into the corner behind the net, comes out front, finds Rubis. Great play by the Blues right there. Rubis with a one-timer from the spot on a pass from Fugner. So that one should be Rubis from Fugner and Harris. 2-0 Blues. Blues send out Spatansky, Blanchard, and Wessel with Miniman and Komodowski. Draws stuck on the dot for a while. Nashville comes away with it. Komodowski steps in front of that pass, gets knocked off of his stick, and he throws it into the Nashville zone. Blanchard will give chase on the forecheck. Nashville spins it up the boards. Spatansky back to get it, goes to Komodowski. He spins away from a Nashville player, tries to go to Miniman, and it's out of his reach. Nashville with a drop pass that was to nobody. Blanchard picked it up, gets it to Wessel. Blanchard takes a hook, gets the puck to Wessel again. Wessel spins away from one, tries to get it to Blanchard. Can't maintain control of the puck, and Nashville throws it up off the boards, goes off of Miniman. Komodowski to pick it up, goes behind his own net, comes up with speed, gets around another one, gets his feet taken out from under him. Blanchard pressures and stick. Backhander thrown towards the net, saved by Stutzer. Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm out with Smith and Brooks. Face off one by Giorgio. Blues go behind the net. Brooks to Smith. It goes off of Zilm's skate. Tied up on the near boards. Zilm, Smith, and Giorgio battle for it. Giorgio throws it behind the net to Brooks. Brooks comes up the glass out to the neutral zone where it's picked off by Nashville. They dump it deep. Stutzer stops it behind his own net. Nashville has two players back there. They're battling in zone. Good outlet there. Brooks to Boyer. Boyer carries through the neutral zone into Nashville's zone. He pulls up, backhands it into the corner to Zilm. Zilm tries to go to Giorgio. That pass is blocked. Zilm to Boyer, and the rebound is put in by Giorgio, but they're going to say no goal. The goalie kicked the net off. Still would have been a goal had the net not been kicked off. So that's a bad wave off, but no goal, face off to the goalie's left. Still 2-0 Blues. Face off won by Nashville. They take it behind their own net, chip it up the boards. Clearing attempt blocked by Giorgio. Another clearing attempt blocked by Boyer, but it got just outside the zone. They'll say the Blues are in offsides with Jackson still in the zone. Face off one into the Nashville zone. They carry out. Back check by Giorgio, gains control of the puck. He's got speed, finds Boyer on the wing. He goes to Zilm. Zilm with a shot from the slot goes off the crossbar into the netting above. Another good play by the Blues. They're finding space in the slot. Blues stick with Giorgio, Boyer, and Zill, and they send out Peterson and Rubis on defense. Giorgio gets kicked from the dot. Not sure why that was. Boyer steps in to take it. Nashville takes control of the faceoff. They carry out of his own. Guy blows a tire, loses the puck. Good move there by Giorgio. He gets it to Zilm. Zilm throws it to the net. Saved by the goalie. Nashville comes out. Good hit by Giorgio. Dumping attempt by Rubis is blocked over to Peterson, who then carries into the Nashville zone. He reverse hits somebody. Zilm's after it in the corner. Held in at the near point by Rubis. He goes to the slot to Crowley. Goes off his skate behind the net. Nashville comes around the near boards. They'll carry it out, and now we're going to get a penalty on Nashville for a trip. Crowley was taken down, and the Blues will go back on the power play. 9:12 left to go in the second period. 2-0 Blues. Going on the power play with Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers, Peterson, and Rubis. Face-off flipped by Nashville, kept in by Rubis at the blue line. He goes to Crowley. Crowley back to Rubis. Rubis throws it towards the net. Looking for a tip, gets all the way through, goes to the boards. Peterson to Rubis to Crowley. Poked off of his stick. He gets it back. Poked off again. Rubis keeps it in at the blue line. Crowley's tied up with Bauer and Rubis fighting for the puck. They get it deep into the Nashville zone behind the net. Nashville spins it around the boards, held in at the other point by Peterson. Bowers gets it to Bauer. Back up to Peterson. He finds Rubis. Rubis back to Peterson. Back to Rubis. Down to Crowley on the half boards. Back over to Rubis. Rubis throws a shot that gets through. Saved by the goalie. Rebound to Bauer. Bauer behind the net to Bowers. He centers it to Bauer, and it's in the net. So a power play goal for Brandon Bauer on a pass from Ian Bowers. 3-0 Blues. Blues send out Fugner, Harris, and Schneider with Miniman and Komodowski after taking 3-0 lead here in the second period. Miniman gets it behind his own net, tries to go to Komodowski, and it's picked off. Nashville centers. Stutzer makes one save. Stutzer makes another save. Great job by Stutzy there to keep Nashville off the board. Harris to take the draw. Nashville gains control of it. Winger takes it to the boards, tries to go to the point where it's knocked down by Fugner. Harris throws it up to Schneider. Schneider's into the Nashville zone. He gets checked off the puck. Nashville tries to backhand it. It's picked off by Harris. He goes behind the net to Fugner. Fugner goes to the point to Komodowski. Komodowski throws it towards the net, tries to get a tip from Harris. It gets past him. He picks it up on the near boards, goes to Schneider in the corner. Over to Fugner, goes behind the net. Fugner gets slew-footed, no call. Ref blows the whistle for, I guess, because Fugner was down, so they're going to bring face-off outside the zone, but Blues send out Crowley to replace Fugner. Harris and Schneider stay out with Smith and Brooks on defense. Nashville chips it into the Blues zone. Brooks goes off the boards right back out. Good stick there by Crowley. Schneider picks up the loose puck. He's in 2-on-1 with Harris, finds Harris. Puck's a little in front of him, and he has to stop it with his skate first. That pass picked off by Crowley. Crowley's with two Nashville players in the corner. He lifts a stick. Nashville goes up the near boards, chipped out over Malachi Smith's stick. It's rolling on the Nashville Preds player, and it's picked up by Crowley. He gets his pocket fixed, but it goes to Brooks, who then dumps it deep and chases after it. Nashville spins it around again. It's stopped by Smith. He gets around one, goes over to Crowley at the other point. Crowley pulls up. He goes to Brooks. Brooks is going to put a shot on. It's knocked down by a Preds player. They take control in front of their own net. Another chip, and it's out of the zone into the neutral zone. Brooks goes up to Smith. Smith gains the zone. He's got Wessel with him. He gets to Spatansky off of his stick. Smith backhands a shot towards the net that the goalie saves. Spatansky, Wessel work it 1-2. Nothing comes of it. Wessel gets it to Rubis. Rubis over to Smith. Smith with a shot. That goes just wide and comes all the way out of the zone. Rubis regains in the neutral zone, has speed, looks for Smith. That's tipped into the zone, chased after by Blanchard. He's got Spatansky with him. Spatansky spins away, gets it to Blanchard. Blanchard with a shot, and Wessel puts home the rebound. So 4-0 Blues. That's a goal for Luke Wessel from Blanchard and Spatansky. Blues lead 4-0. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period. Wessel gets dragged down off the face-off. They're going to let it go, though. Rubis spins it around the boards, tipped out by Blanchard. Nashville loses the puck to Spatansky. Spatansky gains the zone, pulls up. He goes to Peterson. Peterson over to Rubis, who's got space. Spatansky knocks it down, and they're going to call a hand pass. Draw will come outside the zone. Spatansky tried to take the puck out of the air with his hand, and the next person to touch it was Blanchard, so it was a hand pass. Blues send out Giorgio, Zillman, Boyer with Miniman and Komodowski. Face off, chipped into the zone by Boyer. Nashville tips it out, knocked down by Komodowski, but Nashville gains the zone. Pass blocked by Como. Boyer picks up the loose puck. He goes into the Nashville zone with speed. Has his guy beat. Goes up to the point to Miniman. Miniman pulls up, puts on the brakes. Still has the puck. Takes it into the corner. He loses an edge. 3 Blues against 1 Preds player. Nashville tries to chip up the boards. Giorgio out to Komodowski. He'll dump it deep. Picked up by Nashville, and they chip it out into the neutral zone. Nashville into the Blues zone. Stick handles there and eventually spins it behind the Blues net where it's picked up by Miniman. He goes up the near boards to Zilm. Zilm turns, tries to find Giorgio, and it's picked off. Shot on net, steered Komodowski by Stutzer. Stutzer to Miniman. Miniman to Giorgio. Giorgio's into the neutral zone, into the Nashville zone. He takes a hit, gets knocked off the puck. Nashville throws it around the boards, held in by Miniman. Miniman goes to Zilm. Zilm to Boyer. Zilm gets taken down. Komodowski with the puck. He dances through a couple, finds Giorgio, picked up by Boyer. Boyer gets it to Komodowski, back to Miniman. And the play is blown dead because the net's off. So Zoom got taken down behind the play, no call. Blues will send out Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Smith and Brooks. Face off won by the Blues. Smith dumps it behind the net to Crowley. Crowley's tied up. He's got Bauer with him. Gets it over to Bauer. Bauer's tied up with a Nashville player. He backhands it behind the net and gives chase. Nashville rims it around the board where it's held in by Smith. Bauer with a good hit separates a Nashville player, tipped on net by Crowley and covered by the Nashville goalie. 3:09 left in the second period. 4-0 Blues. Face off won by the Blues. Bauer picks it up, goes to Brooks, and it bounces on him. He's going to hold it at the near boards. Crowley's on it now. Pressure there from Bauer. Bauer tries to backhand it into the Nashville zone. Can't get it through. Brooks steps up. The Nashville player takes control. Gets hit by Smith. Bauer tied up over on the far boards. He throws it behind the net. Comes all the way around. Good pass there by Crowley up to Ian Bowers. Bowers tries to flip it up to Brandon Bauer. It's knocked down there. Blues retreat into their own zone. Brandon Bauer picks up the puck, goes behind his own net, comes up the near wing. That's Malachi Smith. Bounces over his stick, but he gets it up to Ian Bowers. He puts a shot on goal that's shouldered down and cleared around by Nashville. Comes up to the point, shot on net by Braden Schneider from there, and it's caught and held on. Face off to the Nashville goalie's right. Blues have Hubner, Schneider, and Harris with Rubis and Peterson. Nashville wins the faceoff, but Harris chases it down behind the goal line. Picked up by Schneider in the corner. He tries to backhand it to the point. I think it may have hit the ref. Nashville comes in 3-on-2, but they just dump it deep. Picked up by Peterson. He goes up the wing to Harris. Harris spins away from the check, gets taken off of his stick, and Nashville dumps it behind the Blues net. Picked up by Peterson. He goes up the boards to Schneider. Schneider to Harris. It goes off his skate straight to Rubis, who gains the Nashville zone, goes to the center of the ice and gets knocked down. Nashville goes off the boards, held in by Peterson. A good step up. His shot's blocked by Nashville. Great pass by Schneider over to Harris for the goal. 5-0 Blues. Braden Harris from Braden Schneider and Johnny Peterson. 1:24 left in the second. 5-0 Blues. Blues send out Stratansky, Wessel, and Blanchard with Miniman and Komodowski. Blues win the faceoff. Stratansky chops it into the Preds zone. They spin it around and fire it off the boards into the neutral zone and then dump deep into the blue zone. Chased by Komodowski. He spins away from the hit. Miniman up to Blanchard. Blanchard to Stratansky. He makes a move around one into the zone 2-on-1 with Wessel. He got it to Wessel. Wessel tried to go to the trailer and Komodowski, and it was behind him. So Nashville into the blue zone. They throw it wide of the net. Blanchard pushes it up, picked up by Wessel. Wessel comes into the Nashville zone. He's going to throw a shot on net, saved by the goalie. Nashville tries to throw it up again. It's knocked down by Miniman right to Fred's player. They throw it into the blue zone again. Komodowski backhands it to Miniman. Miniman to Stratansky. Stratansky to Blanchard. He gets the blue line, takes a hit, gets knocked off the puck, chases after it in the corner. They try to chip it up, picked up by Wessel. Wessel finds Giorgio going to the net. His shot saved. Giorgio regains possession. He's still got the puck. Tries to get it to the point. It's knocked off of his stick. Here comes Nashville in on a partial breakaway. Good play by Giorgio. Saved by Stutzer again. And the Blues are cleared as the second period comes to a close. 5-0 Blues after 2. All right, we're back to the third period. 5-0 Blues. They'll send out Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm with Brooks and Smith on defense. Face off won by Giorgio to Brooks. Brooks gets the red line and dumps it deep. Zilm and Boyer into on the forecheck. Pops out to Boyer. He tries to go deep to Giorgio, and it's knocked down. Nashville chips it out of the zone. Good play there by Brooks. Brooks flips it up to Giorgio, but it was up in the air, and Giorgio couldn't play it. Would have been a high stick, and it ends up being an icing. Face off to Stutzer's left. He's going to kick both centers, so Boyer in to take the draw. Nope, Zillman to take the draw. Zilm wins the face-off to Smith behind the net. Smith goes off the boards up to the point, held in there by Nashville. Good stick by Smith. He throws it up again. Brooks goes off the near boards this time to Boyer. Boyer backhands it into the Nashville zone to Giorgio. Giorgio throws it across the crease. Gets all the way through, and Nashville gets it out of the zone. Goes into the blue zone. Smith over to Brooks. Brooks off the glass into the neutral zone. Picked up there by Giorgio. Giorgio to Smith. He goes back to Giorgio. Giorgio straight up the middle. He gets hooked. No call. The neutral zone, and they dump it deep. Picked up behind the net by Peterson. He makes a move around one. Skates around a second. Still has control. He finds Giorgio on the near wing. Giorgio tries to center it. Gets edge off the puck. Peterson, Rubis to Boyer. Boyer flips it in, but Giorgio hadn't cleared the zone yet, so the Blues are in offsides. Blues have Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Rubis and Peterson. Blues win face-off. Bowers throws it deep into the Nashville zone. Forecheck by Bauer and Crowley. Nashville player comes away with it, held in at the blue line by Rubis. He goes to Bowers. Bowers backhands it to the center of the ice to Crowley. Crowley with a shot, chipped it up over the goalie's glove. 6-0. 6-0 Blues on a goal from Gordon Crowley from Ian Bowers. Blues keep the same five on the ice. They throw it deep into the Nashville zone. That one's held in by Bauer at the near boards. He backhands it, tries to backhand it behind the net, gets tripped, and Nashville is going to get another penalty. an early whistle before Nashville touches the puck, but they are going to get a slashing penalty, so the Blues will go back on the power play. Blues have Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Kamadoski and Miniman. Face off won by the Blues. Bauer to Kamadoski over to Miniman. Miniman back to Kamadoski. He gets pinned to the boards. Bauer comes over to help out to Miniman up to Crowley. Crowley's shot gets blocked by a sliding Predator. He goes back to Miniman. Miniman over to Crowley. Crowley on the far half boards goes back to Miniman, right back to Crowley. And they're going to call a crease violation on Ian Bowers. So the faceoff will come into the neutral zone. Blues send out Hugner, Harris, and Schneider with Tomodaski and Miniman. Minute 4 left in the power play for the Blues. Nashville wins the faceoff. They chip it into the neutral zone, and Tomodaski will circle back. He goes over to Miniman. Miniman finds Hugner. Hugner's got time and space. He puts a shot off the goalie's shoulder, goes behind the net, held in there by Schneider. Hugner tries to center it, goes through everybody and into the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Tomodaski. He picks up speed, dumps it into the Nashville zone. Harris will chase after it in the far corner. He's tied up with a Nashville player. Hugner helps him out. Saucers a pass over to Tomodaski. Hops on him, and he loses it to a Nashville player. They're in one-on-one here. Shot blocked by Miniman and covered by Stutzer for a faceoff. 14 seconds left in the power play. Blues will change defense. Brooks and Smith out with Hugner, Schneider, and Harris. Faceoff won by Nashville. Point. They go D to D. Shot is tipped on goal and off the crossbar by Nashville. Good outlet there by Brooks to Schneider. Schneider finds Smith. He dumps it deep all the way around. Schneider will get it here at the near boards. He gets it to Harris. Harris to Hugner. Taps it to Smith. That puck's cleared to the boards by Nashville. They go up the boards all the way into the blue zone. Tipped in by a Predators player. Nashville whiffs on a shot. It's picked up by Hugner. He gets it to Harris. He's got to step on his guy. A good stick to block his shot. Harris still has the puck in the corner. He gets it to Schneider. Schneider behind the net. Goes up to Smith at the point. He dumps it back behind the net. It gets past Hugner there. Brooks gets it at the near boards. Goes back to Hugner in the corner. Hugner centers. Nobody there as the winger had gone for a change. Nashville dumps it deep off the ref, so no icing. Brooks takes control. He finds Wessel on the near boards. Wessel skates. He takes a hit, is knocked off the puck. Blanchard takes control. He stick handles, and it rolls off of his stick. Oh, Blues are in offsides. Wessel hadn't cleared the zone yet when Peterson flipped it deep. Face off at center ice. So Spatansky, Blanchard, and Wessel with Rivers and Peterson. Face off taken by Wessel. He goes into the Nashville zone, throws a shot off the goalie's shoulder. Spatansky picks up the loose puck. Blanchard takes control, gets it to Spatansky. He dumps it to Blanchard. Blanchard tries to go to Wessel. He gets knocked down. A couple of checks from behind. Wessel to Spatansky. His shot goes off the goalie's helmet, and he headed it over the glass. So face off to his right, Spatansky, Wessel, and Blanchard with Peterson and Rubis. Face off won by the Blues. Back to Peterson. Peterson throws a shot on goal. gets through. The goalie had no idea, but it hit him right in the center of the chest. Nashville comes out 2-on-1. Good back check by the Blues. Nashville chips it on goal, and it's caught by Stutzer. Good save there by Max. He'll have a face-off to his left. Blues send out Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm with Miniman and Kamadoski. Face-off won by the Blues. Giorgio gets it up to Boyer. He tries to chip around, and it's knocked down by Nashville. He clears it in on goal. Nashville guy gets tied up. Zilm's pressuring him. Giorgio takes the puck, gets it out to Kamadoski at the point. He throws a shot on net, and it's caught and held on to by the Nashville goalie. Face off to his right again. 10:06 left in the third period. 6-0 Blues. Face off won by the Blues. Out to Kamadoski at the point. Back to Boyer. Boyer gets slew-footed. Kamadoski gets around the player. Boyer lays a hit. He's not happy about getting taken down. Zilm and Boyer are tied up on the boards. Pops out to Kamadoski. He circles, goes to the far boards, looking for Giorgio or Miniman. Miniman tips it into the Nashville zone. They throw it off the boards, and it's shot into the blue zone. Kamadoski gains control, goes over to his deep partner, Miniman. Miniman finds Giorgio in the neutral zone. Giorgio chips it into the Nashville zone, and the Blues will go in on the forecheck. That's tipped on goal by Nashville, and Giorgio picks up the trash, puts home into an empty net. 7-0 Blues. Giorgio from Zilm. Giorgio, Boyer, and Zilm still on the ice with Miniman and Kamadoski. That pass is picked off by Giorgio. He had to wait for Zilm to get out of the zone. Now he carries it back in. He centers it, but it's picked off by Nashville. Clearing attempt blocked by Boyer. Now they come up the board, but it's picked off by Kamadoski. He tries to get it to Zilm, and it's taken off his stick. Nashville comes in on 2-on-1. Good job by Kamadoski to stick with it, though, and he gets a stick on the shot. Max makes a save. Blues send out Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Smith and Brooks. We've got a running clock now here in the third period with a 7-goal lead. Nashville wins the faceoff to the point. Shot deflected wide of the net. Smith will pick it up. He goes up the wing to Bowers. Bowers backhands it into the neutral zone, out of the zone. Nashville carries right back in, though. They'll flip a shot on net. It's caught and held on to by Max. Same 5 on the ice for the Blues. Draw is tied up, thrown to the front of the net by a Nashville player. Taken by Smith. He gets it to Bauer. Bauer up to Crowley. Crowley's got speed. He sends it across the crease. It's knocked down by a Nashville player. Picked up by Bauer. Bauer to Brooks. Brooks behind the net gets past Bowers. Bowers has it in the corner now. He's looking to center. That centering attempt is picked off by Nashville. Good job by Brandon Bauer to pressure him, and it gets back into the far corner, picked up by Ian Bowers again. He goes behind the net, takes a hit. Crowley helps him out. Crowley goes to the point to Brooks. Brooks spins it around the boards behind the net, goes to the far corner, chased by Brandon Bauer. Step up by Malachi Smith, and it's taken by Brooks in the neutral zone. He'll circle, try to get it around one Nashville Preds player, and it is blocked. Brooks lays a hit. Schneider blocks the entry, gets it up to Brooks, and Nashville chips it into the blue zone. Peterson goes up the boards to Schneider. It gets past him, but it's on goal, so no icing, and their goalie covers it for a faceoff. 6:45 left in the third and running. 7-0 Blues. Fugner, Schneider, and Harris out with Peterson and Rubis. Face off won by Nashville, but Harris is the first to it. Try to get it to the point to Peterson, and Nashville chips it past him. They come in one-on-one. Good back check there by Schneider. And the Blues are going to get a penalty for cross-checking. It's going to be Hutch Rubis. So Rubis gets a minor for cross-checking there. Blues will go on the penalty kill. They send out Fugner, Schneider, Peterson, and Miniman. Face-off won by Nashville out to the point. Fugner pressures there to the half boards, back to the point. Shot from there is tipped on nets. Saved by, good job by Schneider. Schneider gets the puck out of the zone and draws a penalty. It's a tripping penalty on Nashville that'll negate their power play. So we'll play 4-on-4 face-off down in the Nashville zone. The Blues have Spatansky, Wessel, Miniman, and Komodowski. Play 4-on-4 for a minute 14, and then the Blues will have a short 16-second power play. Blues win the face-off. Wessel has the puck on the half boards. He's helped by Spatansky. Nashville comes away with it, though. Step up there by Komodowski. Miniman jumps in. He gets it up to Wessel. Wessel gets around one. He's got Spatansky with him. He goes far boards to Spatansky. Spatansky's got somebody on his back. He gets pushed into the boards, spins away from a hit, gets it over to Komodowski. Komodowski with a shot. Blocker saved by the goalie. Wessel's on it in the corner, gets it back up to Como. Como's got time and space. He throws it behind the net. Picked up there by Spatansky. He's pinned, gets it to Wessel. Wessel on the half boards, looks for Miniman. He finds him back door, but it rolls off of his stick. He tries to get it to Spatansky, and it's knocked off by a Preds player. They circle behind their own net, and Wessel will forecheck. That puck is thrown down and tipped into the blue zone by a Preds player. Komodowski's got the puck. He goes to Miniman, and it's between Miniman and Planter, so it will go for an icing. Blues penalty to Rubis is over, so they're now on a 14-second power play with 4:47 left in the third. They send out Crowley, Blanchard, and Boyer with Smith and Brooks. Face-off's tied up. Boyer tips it to himself and gets it out of the zone with speed. Chips it off the board, beats his defender. Takes a slash, knocked off of his stick, goes to the point of Brooks. Brooks back to Boyer. Boyer pulls up, curls back, goes to Brooks at the point. Brooks throws a shot, gets tipped by Crowley just wide. Blanchard backhands a centering pass. It gets picked off by Nashville. He comes in one-on-one. Good job there by Brooks to separate his man from the puck. Blanchard goes awkwardly into the board. Smith puts a hit on. There's three Blues behind the net. Smith comes away with it. He carries the puck, gets it up to Boyer on the wing, over to Brooks, back to Boyer. Boyer into the Nashville zone. He goes under a check, still has the puck. Puts a reverse hit on a Nashville player. Blues hold it in at the far boards, tied up, and we have a whistle. We'll have a face-off. See if they give it to him in the zone. Yes, face-off will stay in the zone. Blues have Giorgio, Wessel, and Zilm with Peterson and Rubis. 3:25 left in the third. Face-off won by the Blues up to Rubis. Rubis passed to Peterson. Tried to jump it. Peterson puts a shot on net, saved by the goalie. Wessel picks up the rebound. It's stick checked off of his stick. He backhands it to Rubis. Rubus to Giorgio. Giorgio dumps it into the Nashville zone. He gets it to Zilm. Zilm's got possession in the corner, gets it to Wessel. Wessel gets pinned against the boards. Peterson steps up. Nashville comes away with it. Good job by Giorgio, though, on the back check. Nashville trying to gain control. They get it back to their D-men. That outlet is blocked by Wessel into the near corner. He angles his guy off. Good pass there by Zilm to Giorgio. And Nashville just throws it out. That was offsides, but they let it play, and Max makes the save. 2:22 left in the third. Blues send out Crowley, Bauer, and Bowers with Miniman and Kamadoski. Bowers comes away with the puck. He gets it up to Bauer. They get into the Nashville zone with speed. Good job by Bauer. He puts it just wide of the net, chases it down in the corner. He's got Crowley with him. Bauer maintains possession and gets knocked off his stick right to Crowley. Crowley to Miniman. Crowley tries to go to the point to Kamadoski, and it's out of his reach. Back to Miniman. Miniman to Bauer. Over to Bowers. He gets pinned to the boards. Bauer comes to help out. They'll battle for the puck. Three Predators players taking on Bauer and Bowers. And another whistle. We'll have another face-off. Minute 19 and running. Blues send out Fugner, Schneider, and Harris with Smith and Brooks. One minute remaining. Face off won by Fugner, back to Brooks. Brooks goes to Schneider. Schneider tries to center to Harris, and it gets blocked. Harris got the puck in the far corner. He finds Brooks. Brooks with a shot, tipped by Schneider just wide. Harris chases it down. He makes a good move, tries to get it past to Schneider. Band on it, tries to go over to Fugner, and it's tipped by Nashville. They take control, chip it off the glass. Smith tried to hold it in, and it's stuck somewhere in his pants or glove. So they call the Blues offside. 16 seconds left. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone, and that'll just about do it. And the ref doesn't even want to drop the puck, so that'll be it. 7-0 Blues. Max Stutzer with another shutout for St. Louis. We'll see you guys tomorrow.